What is going on, Jet fans? Matt O'Leary back with another video. Today I am going to be talking about the New York Jets playoff chances. And yes, we can still talk about playoffs even after a horrible loss against the Chargers to drop the Jets to 4-4. This game against the Raiders, I cannot stress enough how important this game is for the New York Jets and why they absolutely have to come out on top with the victory. It is time for my Underdog fantasy picks fresh off my win last week. What is going on? We won last week, so hopefully you tailed, but if you didn't, you could sign up now using my code and tail my picks. They are matching your deposit of $100 with a $100 match deposit bonus. There you go, up to $100. All right, Aiden O'Connell, lower than 207.5 passing yards. I don't think he is going to eclipse 200 in this game. The Jets defense just held Justin Herbert to 136 passing yards. Aiden O'Connell is not going to hit 200 in this game. And the Jets are going to lean on Breece Hall in this game. He will have more or higher than 15.5 rushing attempts in this one. 2 entries this week. Did a little bit differently. Did not do my normal 3. $10. 2 correct gets you 30. Sign up using my link down below. When looking at the Jets' playoff chances, with a win in this game and with a loss in this game, it is about as dramatic of a swing as you could possibly get with these two things. It's not 100-0. I mean, this early in the season, you're never going to get one like that. But with a win, the New York Jets' playoff chances gets bumped up to 54%. So a better than 50-50 shot of making the playoffs with a win. But with the loss, it drops down to just 25%. So a 1 in 4 chance of making the playoffs. And while all Jet fans, whoever you want to put blame on or whatever the conversation is with the offense, we're all frustrated with the offense, right? Doesn't matter. We all have the same goal. This team should be a playoff team. They have to end the longest active playoff drought in all the 4 major sports. It's the Jets and the Buffalo Sabres. It's time. It is absolutely time for this team to make the playoffs. They were so close last year. They had the 7-4 start. They had 6 games remaining, and then they lost all 6 games and found themselves out of the mix. A win against the Chargers would have had you feeling in a much better spot, but this is still a winnable game against the Raiders. There are things lining up for the New York Jets that you got to feel pretty good about in this game. The Raiders are missing some key pieces on their offensive line. When you look at the Jets defense and what they've done to quarterbacks and offensive lines, having a banged up offensive line against this unit, the Jets should have a really good day on defense. And against a rookie quarterback, like Aiden O'Connell was someone going in this last draft class that I liked as a developmental day 3 guy, someone who's probably, let's be honest, I mean, for the Raiders' sake, hopefully turns into their long-term starting answer, but more likely than not, probably just a QB2. But hey, if you get a long-term backup quarterback in the 4th round, I think you sign up for that. But he's played okay. He's looked pretty, again, not stellar. He hasn't been bad. He looks like he can play in the league through his first couple starts, but this is his 3rd start in the NFL. Going up against this Jets pass rush with a beat-up offensive line, again, that's a really nice opportunity. And for the Raiders defense, yeah, Max Crosby absolutely is a game wrecker. You have to keep a close eye on him. The Raiders' run defense is the 2nd worst in the NFL. They allow the 2nd most rushing yards against, and this is a perfect opportunity to lean on Breece Hall in the run game. And all you have to do is just find a way to win, like you did against the Giants. It was an ugly 13-10 win. Ugly game. Horrible, right? It was a game that looked like it set back the NFL decades. It doesn't matter. I don't care if they win 30-3 or 10-0. It doesn't, I don't care. Just find a way to get a win. This team, all they have to do is just keep themselves afloat to the last few weeks of the season, because there's the hope. And right now it's just hope. It's not a guarantee that Aaron Rodgers could come back, but the only thing that would have that possibility of Aaron coming back is if they're still in the mix. If they're 6-7, is he fighting to come back for the last couple of weeks of the year? Probably not. Or maybe 6-7 might not be. Okay, let's say 6-8. Is he fighting at that point when you already have 8 losses and 3 games left? Probably not. But can you be 7-7 in your final 3 games? And maybe you get your shot for Aaron Rodgers to come back. But again, like, there's still some really important games on the schedule after this one. This is an important game. The Raiders, while are below the Jets in the standings, they're still alive in the mix for the AFC wild card. And the Jets still have, after this game, another game against Buffalo. They have 2 against Miami. They haven't played them yet this year. They close out against New England on the road. And then you have games against Cleveland and Houston, 2 teams who are fighting and in the mix for an AFC wild card. You control your own destiny in a way, but it starts this week. You have to find a way to win this game. And it's frustrating because last week, you had a nice opportunity in front of you. The Bills lost, the Dolphins lost, the Patriots lost, and the Jets could have jumped the Bills, jumped up to second place, and they could have been a half a game out of first place, but they blew it. They played a terrible game on Monday Night Football. And again, while everyone is so down on this team right now, and I get it, I'm really frustrated with how just bad the offense looked. They're not done. The last time they had an ugly loss against the New England Patriots, they went out there and they had a 4-game stretch where they went 3-1 and they played good football for the most part. For the most part, they did. Against the Chiefs in a loss, that was the best their offenses looked all season and the best Zach Wilson's looked ever. So hopefully, I don't know if it's going to happen. No one knows, but I sure as hell hope that we get a Zach Wilson performance that's similar to what we saw against the Kansas City Chiefs. And then I hope they rattle off some wins in a row. Can you get back to another win streak going? Can you find a way? How about we even pump the brakes on that? How about you find a way to win this game against the Raiders and then you split between your 2 divisional matchups? Can you get yourself to, what would you be at that point? 6-5? Is that a spot this team could be? They're 4-4 right now. Can you find a way to be 6-5 after this next, again, tough stretch of games with, Buffalo and then Miami on Black Friday? You just have to keep yourself afloat. And a win does that. A loss makes it very, very, very challenging to climb out of. 25% chance of the playoffs with a loss. But in a win, if the Jets win the game, they have a 54% chance of making the playoffs. Give me that 54% chance. Again, I don't care if they find a way to win and it's a 10-3 game or just a disgusting, ugly Sunday Night Football game. That doesn't matter to me. I don't care about how they win right now. I just want them to keep stacking wins and keep the season afloat because it's so much better to cover a team and watch a team that wins games than it is to talk about a team that unfortunately lost and has a horrible offense right now. It's not as much. It's not fun. It's not. I want this team to win games. It's much more fun covering a team during a 3-game win streak than it is after an embarrassing primetime loss. I don't want to do it again next week. I don't want to have the fights throughout the week next week. It's not fun. I know you don't like it. I don't like it. Let's have a win and then talk ourselves back into being in the mix in the AFC East. With 2 games against the Bills and the Dolphins coming up back to back. Keep your season afloat. You need a win in this game against the Raiders. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Thank you so much for tuning into today's video. Please, before you go, if you could leave a like, share with a friend, subscribe if you haven't. All that stuff really helps me out with the algorithm, and it helps me get in front of more people. So I appreciate it. I couldn't do this without you guys. Thank you for tuning in today. I'm Matt O'Leary, and I'll catch you next time.